Not guilty. That is the plea entered by Nichole Rice, who is accused of the 2007 murder of Anita Knutson in Minot. KX News' Kiara Brown was in the courtroom today, and she shares a recap of Rice's preliminary hearing and arraignment.
As Nichole Rice's defense team waited to enter the courtroom, Rice and her husband entered the courtroom hand in hand. On March 16th, Rice was arrested for the 2007 murder of her then roommate, Anita Knutson. Rice has been out on bail since. The preliminary hearing of the 15-year-old cold case began with the state calling Detective Nichole Talbot from the Minot Police Department to the witness stand. Detective Talbot told the courtroom of the inconsistencies in Rice's alibi over the years.
Over the investigation, Nichole's statements have been inconsistent from the start. They've changed drastically from not seeing Anita to seeing Anita to not being in Minot at all over the weekend to now coming back to Minot on Saturday night after she left the bar.
Detective Talbot says that several DNA samples were taken and tested to be compared to the DNA on the murder weapon.
And any of those samples that were sent for comparison, were any of them included, excluded, incapable of being excluded?
All of the male profiles that were sent have been able to be excluded from the profiles developed from the knife. The only profile that cannot be excluded or DNA sample that has been submitted is Nichole's.
Detective Talbot also says a witness came forward years ago claiming Nichole Rice had allegedly confessed to the murder while drunk at a party in 2008 or 2009.
There was a tip submitted back in 2008 or 9 regarding a statement made at the party where Nichole had actually confessed to the murder. It was unknown to law enforcement at the time, or to me, I guess, who that was until 2022, where William May had been identified as the individual who provided that tip.
After a cross-examination by the defense, the judge ruled there was sufficient probable cause to proceed with the charges. The courtroom waited for Rice to speak.
Again, the charge is murder, Class AA felony. How do you plead, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Court will accept your plea of not guilty at this time.
Kiara Brown, KX News.
Rice's pretrial conference is scheduled to happen on November 16th.